remember, we give you both the paper and the electronic version. So this is your fundamentals book. This book, the green book, is all about massage and everything around the practice of massage. We'll just start with this chapter because it's up here. Book is set out to be a teacher. And so all of the chapters have the same features to them. So you start out with an outline, tells you what you're going to learn. And this is the chapter where we actually start to bring in adjuncts like hydrotherapy and the thermotherapy, aromatherapy, implement assisted, that sort of thing. Then you will have your objectives, which tells you what sort of skill set and or understanding that you will have. And then you'll have a list of key terms, and the key terms are terms that you should be able to understand if you encounter them, if you read them. All right? And then you'll have a little introduction to what's going on, and then these mentoring tips that are peppered throughout the book give you, I step away from the academic type writing to bring it into some relevance with what's going on. So those of you that have worked with textbooks before, college textbooks before, this one's written a little different for you. And then it's a big chapter, but then it's divided into subcategories. So every chapter is like that. You'll have the big idea, and then there'll be an introduction to that, and then you'll have the subsets that are almost like little books within the great big chapter. So this is one of those. This is going to discuss complementary bodywork systems overall, gives you section objectives, goes through and talks to you about it, and this reads to you. This book will read to you. I hope I can get it to do that.
Beneficial but not as a standalone intervention or to replace massage.
I gotta speed it up.
Massage professionals who work with a client in the sports and fitness or medical setting need to increase their knowledge based on the function, dysfunction,
when you're looking
or
at
disease
something like this,
address.
speed it up.
For example,
You will learn it better if you speed it up a little
serving
bit.
the athlete requires an understanding of training protocols, common stress patterns, and injury rehabilitation of that particular sport. Working with stroke rehabilitation requires increased knowledge of stroke etiology, rehabilitation,
and the use of massage as part of the overall rehabilitation and management process.
Those are pretty much your choices.
Working with clients who suffer from depression is enhanced by an understanding of the manifestations of
So one of the things, especially if you have difficulty with retention, that I suggest you do is that you have your paper book open at the same time as you're listening to this. You can also download this feature onto your smartphone, and you can listen to it when you're traveling or just working around the house. So it's very helpful. And I think that'll be helpful for you too as you're still working on English. All right. You can make flashcards with this. There's a search feature right here, which is kind of fun. I can put cupping in there because you had mentioned that. It'll search the whole book for you. And then it'll take you, here's the research, it'll take you to that, and you can go to these different places if you want to know more about that. You can't do that in a paper book, kind of a thing. And there are other features that go along with it. You can make flashcards, you can highlight, you can do all kinds of stuff with this. So that's the end of a section there, and now we're gonna get into hydrotherapy and thermotherapy. And away it goes. Are you getting all this?
That's one chapter read.
Now, anything that's in the book is in our scope of practice. The massage therapy scope of practice is actually quite broad. There's shiatsu, Luke mentioned that, Ayurveda. Enough so that if somebody is seeking that, you understand what they're looking for, or how you might work together with it. There's these proficiency exercises where it gives you some suggestions to do for integration. There's a good old-fashioned reflexology chart. Protocols that are also supported by video. So you can look at the pictures and you can look at the video and you can look at how we've demonstrated it. Here's one of Luke's wonderful things. Your Evolve content, which I'm going to show you in a minute. The research that went into this, which is important. You want to know what sources the material is being based on. And then at the end of each chapter, I did a lot of research on there. Whew, no wonder I'm tired. There are 20 questions at the end of each chapter. These are not the required test questions. These are questions for review. I'll show you where the answers are with them. They're put together to make you discuss the chapter. So again, set up on repetitions, set up on that spiral format. The whole book is set up for you like that. There are some really cool appendices. There's a pathology appendice and that sort of thing. So the science book is set up the same way. And so they coordinate, they complement each other. You will understand that after you've gotten through the first couple of chapters. You will see how they work together. Your Evolve site, get to it. Library. 9 times out of 10, I'll have to reload it. Yeah. Well, maybe not. Maybe I can backspace enough. So you are going to, and Tanya is going to get you hooked. Tanya is going to get you hooked up on this. There it is. This is what's called a learning management system. It has additional information from the textbooks. It's where you will do your chapter tests. It goes into a grade book so that I know what's going on with stuff and all of that. You have 3 courses. You have this online course that goes with the science book. Who's done an actual online course? Anybody ever done one of these? Okay. Then you have your course for the essential science, and you have your course for fundamentals. So when you log on, you will have these 3 icons here. I'll open up the fundamentals, and the first thing that'll happen when you click on that is announcements. And that is where I post everything. If there's any recording, any upcoming anything, all of your preliminary information, the study schedule, all of it will show up as soon as you click on that. All right, it's right there for you.
In the fundamentals announcements.
Yeah, only there. I don't put it in the science book or on the online course, only in fundamentals. So what we've got right here is orientation, that's what we're doing right now. There is your Zoom link. I post it for you so that you don't have to go looking for it. I never take these down either, so you can always scroll back to find something. There's the YouTube channel. I'll show you an example of that in a little bit. Here are some general information videos that are fun to watch. And here's your first assignment. And it's due, primary 1, due May 22nd. So you got a whole month to work through this. Your first job this week after you get done with class is to go through and click on everything. Click on it, manipulate it, download stuff, mess with it, play with it, write down questions, and make sure you bring your device with you next class so that we can work out any bugs if you've got any. And there usually are 1 or 2. All right.
You will not be behind as long as you start reading. So, you could have a technology snafu, but just keep reading.
The next thing I've got here is some demos that Luke and I have done that you might want to click on. You don't have to watch them all, but a lot of people haven't ever seen a massage. They don't know what is really expected and what's going on. So there's that there for you. And then here is your essential science textbook. Now for fundamentals, I'll show you the essential science with this one. And for fundamentals and for essential science, what I have done is gone through.
I'm gonna pause it real quick. When you go onto the YouTube channel, there's a playlist, and one is Essential Sciences and one is Fundamentals. And I'll have all of these.
So this first one just tells you how to use the books. And then there's one for every chapter that will lead you through what's important and what's not important. It's like me, buzzing in your ear kind of a thing. I'll play this with just a little bit.
Nope.
Oops. That's all right. We can look at it with chapter 1. You'll get a sense of it.
Okay, students.
Always
This
pay attention
is
to my
your,
hair. It is its
video
own event.
lecture and study strategies for chapter 1, Essential Science. So I am going to share my screen.
Aren't I cute? Now,
So here we go.
right
This
here, you
is
see this little button?
Essential Science. You have watched a video already.
You see this little wheel? Click on it. You see where it says playback speed? Take it up to at least 125. All right.
I do that with everything information.
Oh, now here's chapter 2. Oh well.
The pause sign is what you want to be hitting.
Yeah, what am I hitting?
You're hitting the next.
Oh, am I?
The
Cool.
I like the main focus areas in the chapter. Remember, we have the 2 goals. One is to prepare you to be an extraordinary massage therapist upon graduation.
See, you can
and your
understand
own
this,
self-teacher and your
But
skill
it
set
will cut the
evolves
time down and it
with
keeps your
the
brain more
practice.
engaged.
And secondly, to have you well-being. The client can come in and their main goal is relaxation and well-being. And
So I can
it's prudent
use
for us to,
Electronic
not
version of the
superimpose
textbook, and I can actually
outcomes
put
within
that up
these other
there,
categories.
and then you can follow through
When truly
on what's
what they're
going on
after
with
is
stuff.
very important.
So you have a
downtime,
video
this
like this
down-regulation
for
of,
every chapter
our
in each
body's,
of these books.
vigilance response.
All
So
right?
keep in mind that the relaxation well-being outcome is the foundation for all the rest. disturb the formation of the repair, but we can adapt and work around the area and the persistent or chronic pain that is now understood as a change in.
So a lot of times people don't know what to pay attention to, especially if you're in a generalized anatomy book or something. Both of these books are written for what's important for massage. But even with that, there are places where it's good to know, and there's places where there's need to know. And so these videos really, really help you do that. Got it?
Got it.
All right. The other thing, if I can manage to get out of this, where'd my evolve go?
You're gonna have to exit out of the
Targeted and
window, you're in
sorted.
YouTube.
Right here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all right. Oh, here, look at what I found.
Yeah.
God, I drive Luke absolutely
No,
nuts with
no.
mine. Okay, the other thing that you will find are support videos. And until you sort of figure out what these are like, you should click on them all. If some of them are 5 minutes, some of them are 30 seconds, some of them are 45 minutes. But until you see the pattern of what's going on. So I have stuff like this.
Grammarly is basically like an AI writing partner that can help you solve all of this. For example, here's a bunch of stuff.
I went into a cell to get out of there. There was the gatekeeper, the cell membrane. I went into a cell, and what did I see?
So all kinds of different, you know, there's another one in there that's a college professor drawing it on a board. And we don't have to know intricate cellular anatomy, right? But the research is showing that massage functions at a cellular level. So if you don't have some idea of what's going on with that, you can't appreciate the research that's going on with it. All right, so your job is to click on everything. I think I blocked myself out of here. So now let's open up the course, and you're gonna find, let me view it as a student, your announcements. And that is the thing we just went through. And this, you're going to look at course content, student resources. Here you will find the same stuff that's in this handbook.
I haven't handed that out yet.
All right? You got your calendar, you've got the syllabus, you've got the monthly study schedule if you don't want to wait for me to post it or you want to work ahead. Don't do these announcements. You've got some generalized stuff here. Here's some pharmacology stuff. This is real cool. You'll want to click on this. It's like a digital anatomy coloring book. You can quiz yourself and stuff with it. You've got a practice exam here to take a look at towards the end of the program. And then for every chapter, you open that up, and the very first thing you're going to see is your test.
So practice exam, wait, click, go for this. You're looking for the chapter tests.
Yep. Here's what it looks like. And you just mark it. Ta-da!
These are the key required component you need to do with this online portal is to go in for fundamentals, do a chapter test, the sciences, chapter test, online course, also with a multiple choice test. So it'll be 3 multiple choice tests to complete, and that will get you ready for your licensing exam, because guess what it is? a
It's a
multiple choice test
test.
done on a computer. So we make you take a lot of multiple choice tests on a computer in order to get you ready for a multiple choice test on a computer. So,
And these tests are all open book and you can take them as many times as you want.
Okay. And you can work together to do that. Then you can save your answers and come back. You can do 10 at a time or whatever, or you can submit. And I only answered one question, so I'm not gonna do very good.
we've had people go take the test first and then read the stuff and then take it again. You can take it as many times as you want. That's will be its own great way to study the information as you get towards the end of the program.
So once you submit it, it'll tell you what you got correct and, or what the correct answer is.
There are the occasional wrong ones that
Yes.
are actually wrong. So we're sorry for that. Some aspects involved don't allow for editing it the same way.
If an answer looks really wrong, it probably is. There's maybe 3 or 4, so let's see if you can find them. It's a treasure hunt.
Don't let it completely drive you crazy. If you find one that's like, that's clearly silly, it probably is. It's probably wrong. And just bring it to the classroom and don't fight with it for 3 days.
So you also have an electronic workbook that is just practice. It doesn't go into the grade book, but it's good reinforcement. Then you have your answer key, so you can self-check it. It downloads over here and you open it up. And then you have another study strategy, again, not required. It's called Quick Content Review. And it's more of this might be the answer key I clicked. It's more of a narrative, but it's like a cliff notes for the chapter. It kind of condenses the chapter a little bit. And asks you to narrate the answer with it. How do I close this and not close myself totally out of my life here?
Close word.
Yeah, or downsize it.
What, right here? Oh, that's a good idea. And then there's a bunch of animations here too that are related to anatomy and physiology that you can look at. And then the chapters that have massage demonstration, you'll see something that says video. And if you click on that, so over here, there's these 2 little lines right here. If you click on that, it'll make the screen bigger. And it takes a little while for this to load.
These two things together.
Now, I want you to know I was younger when I
massage
did these.
manipulations that we're going to discuss next.
But the actual massage has not changed very much. It's the research and that sort of thing around.
Resting is just a
our
very
language has
simple,
changed.
deliberate, intentional touch.
All right, I'm trying to get out of here. Here we go.
Gliding.
Oh, no. And then, there we go. The online course here is like a lecture, and you're going to want to scroll down through here to get to the course. And
You
then
see
you'll
how
just
show that scroll down again. This is an important thing. Scroll down, then you're to the course.
hit course, and then the individual modules will come up. There's the exam that's required, and then there's fun stuff that goes through, and
Meaning there's essential sciences and fundamentals, each of which, again, I'm just restating ad nauseum, okay? Each has a chapter test. Then to go along with the sciences is an online course that has more reading to do, where you go through and you're doing each of these. At the end of that is another exam to reinforce the science-based information.
see how I'm playing with it. Now, these exams are always 25 questions. The others will vary from 60 to 175. When you are starting to play with these, what you want to do is not just answer what's the right answer. You want to know why the wrong answers are wrong.
Or any term that you come across, if you don't know what it is. You know, these days with smartphones, it's a quick lookup. So constantly forcing yourself to revisit, especially weird terms. You know, we're essentially all learning a new language with the anatomy, physiology stuff. So.
Now, here's how I know what you're doing. I'm going to show you another class. This is the one that's currently going.
See how up to date they are.
This is what the grade book looks like. And whenever you post one of those tests, whenever you hit submit, it goes to the grade book. I get everybody. Yours will show up in your own. If you want to take it again, you just take it again. It's set to submit best score. So,
We need you to get above 90.
that's how things are done.